Authorities have sentenced 17 people to jail in Tibet for their roles in last month's riots. It's the first time anyone's been charged for involvement in the unrest. Beijing says 18 people were killed in the protests in Lhasa. Tibetan exile groups, though, say the death toll totaled more than 100. The Xinhua news agency says sentences between 3 years to life imprisonment were handed down at the trial, which was attended by more than 200 people. It comes as China confirmed it's agreed to hold talks with the Dalai Lama on the condition that Tibetan exiles give up violence ahead of the Olympics. China has blamed Tibet's spiritual leader and his government in exile for plotting the Lhasa riots. Our correspondent in Beijing, Melissa Chan, says further sentencings are likely in connection with the unrest.
There is very little detail coming out from the government in regards to these sentencing. We don't know whether these people have been sentenced for assault, whether they have been sentenced for civil disturbance, or whether it's been a subversion accusation. Just no information about that, no information about their names, their ages, and their ethnicity, presumably Tibetan, but very little information about anything except the fact that there has been a sentencing of these individuals, some of them getting from 3 years to life sentence in prison. I think that we should expect more sentencings in the days to come, if not in the weeks to come, simply because during the riot there were reports of many Tibetans eventually handing themselves over to police, and many others also arrested by the Chinese police that haven't stood trial yet. So I think that this is something that the Chinese certainly do want to deal with as quickly as possible. Just a month since the rioting, we have our first sentences. We'll probably get a lot more before the Olympics start.
Staying in China, and state media says the country's worst rail crash in more than a decade was probably caused by speeding. The Xinhua news agency says a passenger service was traveling at more than 130 kilometers an hour when it derailed and plowed into another train. It happened just outside the city of Zebo in Shandong province, where the speed limit was actually 80 kilometers an hour. The collision killed at least 70 people and injured hundreds more. Some services have now resumed after tracks were cleared. A group of East Timorese